All right, let's dive deep into this new Las Vegas Raiders 53-man roster projection. And look, I know this is something I've done before, maybe more times than I can count at this point, but the truth is, every training camp, every signing, every cut, they change the picture. The NFL doesn't stop. And when you're talking about a team like the Raiders, where competition runs deep in almost every position group, you've got to keep updating your view on what that final roster could realistically look like. So here we go. This is based on everything I've seen, everything I've read, and all the whispers coming out of camp. You might agree with some of it. You might completely disagree. That's what makes this fun. Let's get into it. Quarterbacks first. Geno Smith is still the guy. I know there's been talk about Aiden O'Connell pushing for that starting job, and yes, Aiden is easily one of the better backups in the league right now. But if we're being honest, this is Geno's team. No one in that building is seriously questioning that. And Cam Miller, even though he's just a rookie picked late, makes the cut too. Not because he's lighting it up in camp, but because the Raiders need depth at the position. Geno brings experience and leadership. Aiden gives you reliability off the bench, and Cam's got the kind of raw tools you want to develop in-house. That makes 3 quarterbacks on the roster, plain and simple. Now, running backs. This group has been tough to pin down because there's real competition happening here. Ashton Janney is a name that keeps popping up, a young guy with explosiveness and a chip on his shoulder. Then you've got Raheem Mostert, who brings that veteran speed and knows how to get yards, even in tight spaces. Sincere McCormick continues to impress with his consistency. He's not flashy, but he gets the job done. And then there's Zamir White. This guy's been trimming weight, picking up speed, and attacking camp like someone who knows his job isn't safe. And guess what? That effort might have just saved his roster spot. The 4th spot, if they keep 4 backs, and I think they will, comes down to him edging out Dylan Lobby and Chris Collier. Lobby's had some decent moments, but if you're not contributing heavily on special teams or carving out a clear role on offense, it's tough to make the cut. Right now, Zamir White's trending up, and that's why he gets the nod in this projection. Wide receiver room. Now we're talking about one of the most exciting groups on the roster. Young talent, high upside, and some tough decisions to make. Jacoby, Trey Tucker, Dante, and Jack Beck. These guys are pretty much locks. Trey's speed gives this offense a whole different gear, and Beck has been showing serious hands and body control throughout camp. But here's where it gets interesting. Only 5 wideouts make it this time. Why? Because I decided to load up more on defense. That means no Alex Bachman, and trust me, that wasn't easy to leave out. Batchman's been having a solid camp. If the Raiders were going to keep 6 receivers, he'd absolutely be in. He's got the route running, he understands spacing, and frankly, if this roster were just about performance, he'd make it. But you've got to balance offense and defense, and I felt the defensive side needed the help more. Tommy Mellott stays in as the 5th, though there's a real debate there. If the Raiders had to start tomorrow, Bachman might even be ahead of Mellott in the pecking order, especially in the slot. Mellott has the athleticism, no doubt, but he's still adjusting to NFL speed and looks like he's thinking too much out there. Still, based on long-term upside and roster structure, Mellott stays, but with a short leash. Now on to the tight end position. In previous projections, I had 4 tight ends making the final 53. That changes today. After what we've seen in training camp, especially with how this offense is lining up in personnel groupings, it's clear they're leaning heavy on 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end. 2 tight end sets will still happen, and yeah, there might even be moments where 3 tight ends are on the field, but it's not the base look. So that gives us 3 names: Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, and Ian Thomas. That's a rock-solid trio. Brock is already flashing superstar traits. Mayer looks more comfortable in his 2nd year, and Ian Thomas has quietly been one of the most consistent performers at camp. He blocks well, runs clean routes, and makes catches in traffic. That's what you need from your 3rd tight end. And when you step back and look at it, this might just be one of the best tight end groups in the league. Offensive line now. This is where things get gritty and where real depth matters. I kept 9 linemen in this version of the roster, which is consistent with past projections. There are just too many battles to ignore. You've got JPJ and Jordan Meredith fighting it out, a lot of rotation with Alex Kappa, Caleb Rogers, and Thayer Munford. And with the recent addition of Antonio Mafi, the interior depth looked a little more crowded, but I still don't think he makes it. He just hasn't shown enough yet. The staff values flexibility and toughness in the trenches, and the 9 linemen I have sticking around bring exactly that. Count it up now. That puts 24 players on offense. That's right, just 24. Why? Because the defense needs the bodies. With Christian Wilkins now out of the picture, the defensive line is in flux. There's more experimentation happening, more rotations, more uncertainty. You need numbers there, plain and simple. Let's flip the field and talk defense now. Starting at edge rusher, and yes, Max Crosby obviously leads the pack. He's the heartbeat of this unit. Next to him, you've got Malcolm Kuntz, who's had a really solid camp and looks ready to take another leap. Tyree Wilson stays in as well. The Raiders have him listed at edge, so that's where I'm keeping him, even though some folks think he could eventually slide inside. Rounding out the group is Charles Snowden. He's long, athletic, and brings some versatility. I was close to including Jordan Joyner too, but at the end of the day, I needed to allocate spots elsewhere. Just couldn't squeeze him in this time. Now for the defensive tackles. Without Christian Wilkins, everything shifts. So I've got 6 guys making it here. Adam Butler, Janarius Liu, and Nesta Jade Silvera, also known as Lucky Fatanu, are your top 3. That's been clear in camp. These 3 have separated themselves and look like the ones coaches trust. You also drafted Tonka Hemingway and J.J. Piguet, so they're in. And then there's Zach Carter, who's had a really solid offseason and deserves the final spot in this group. One wild card to watch, though, Keandre Coburn. The man is massive, and he's being looked at as a direct replacement for Wilkins. If he flashes in preseason, don't be surprised if he bumps someone off. But for now, he's just outside the cut. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL landscape is buzzing with speculation as the Las Vegas Raiders reportedly secured 3 meta-level signings that could transform the team's future. Rumors are swirling that the Raiders have reached agreements with JALEN RAMSEY, Von Miller, and TYREEK Hill, a trio of elite players who have long been coveted by franchises aiming to dominate both sides of the ball. If true, this seismic shift could propel the Raiders into immediate contention in the highly competitive AFC West and beyond. Analysts and fans alike are eagerly debating the impact these stars could have on the team's dynamics, with many suggesting this could be one of the most ambitious roster overhauls in recent NFL history. The mere possibility of such a talent influx has set off waves of excitement and skepticism, as the integration of 3 marquee names poses both opportunities and challenges for the Raiders' coaching staff and locker room chemistry. Questions abound regarding how the team's salary cap situation accommodates these acquisitions and how these veterans will fit into the existing scheme. Yet, the allure of assembling a supercharged squad with Ramsey's lockdown coverage, Miller's pass-rushing prowess, and Hill's explosive playmaking is enough to fuel widespread anticipation. While official confirmations remain pending, insiders hint that this trio could redefine the Raiders' trajectory for years to come, sparking a frenzy among the fan base and rival teams. In the defensive backfield, the rumored addition of JALEN RAMSEY could represent a game-changing coup for the Raiders. Ramsey, widely regarded as one of the NFL's premier cornerbacks, has built a reputation for suffocating coverage and a relentless competitive spirit. The prospect of pairing Ramsey's elite coverage skills with the Raiders' defensive front suggests a blueprint for shutting down opposing offenses with unprecedented efficacy. The rumor mill is abuzz with talk of how Ramsey's versatility could free up other defenders to make plays, potentially elevating the entire defensive unit. His ability to shadow top receivers one-on-one offers a strategic advantage rarely seen at this level, prompting speculation about how opponents might adjust their game plans in response. Additionally, Ramsey's leadership qualities and high football IQ are whispered to be a key factor in the Raiders' interest, with the team aiming to bolster its defensive culture and resilience. If these whispers hold true, Ramsey's presence could instantly upgrade the secondary and complement the pass rush, particularly if Von Miller's addition is also finalized. The tantalizing possibility of a lockdown corner paired with a fierce edge rusher has sparked heated debates among experts about the Raiders' defensive potential, fueling intrigue as the offseason unfolds. Equally compelling is the rumor that Von Miller, one of the most feared linebackers and pass rushers of his generation, might be donning the silver and black soon. Miller's reputation precedes him, with multiple All-Pro selections and a Super Bowl MVP title, cementing his legacy as a game-changer. The whispers suggest that his addition would instantly boost the Raiders' pass rush, an area that has often been identified as a weakness in recent seasons. Miller's experience, tenacity, and knack for disrupting quarterbacks could invigorate a defense hungry for playmakers and veterans who bring a winning mentality. His potential partnership with JALEN RAMSEY in this rumored trio paints a vivid picture of a defense rebuilt to dominate both the line of scrimmage and the secondary. Speculation around Miller's contract and how the Raiders plan to balance their roster and salary cap has added layers of intrigue, with insiders hinting at creative moves to accommodate his arrival. Moreover, fans and analysts are debating how Miller's leadership and veteran presence could positively influence younger players, accelerating their development and fostering a culture of accountability and intensity. This potential acquisition has the football world abuzz, with many viewing it as a signal that the Raiders are aggressively pursuing a path back to playoff prominence. The third rumor jewel in this meta-signing spree is TYREEK Hill, an electrifying wide receiver known for his game-breaking speed and ability to stretch defenses vertically. Hill's rumored move to the Raiders ignites visions of a potent offensive arsenal, where his quickness and agility could open up the field for the team's quarterback and create mismatches against defenses. Fans and commentators alike are imagining the possibilities of pairing Hill with the Raiders' existing offensive weapons, speculating on how the team's play calling might evolve to maximize his unique skill set. The rumors suggest that Hill's presence could instantly transform the Raiders into one of the league's most dynamic offenses, forcing opponents to adapt their defensive schemes significantly. Discussions are rampant about how Hill's speed and route-running precision could elevate the team's passing game and provide a consistent deep threat option. Additionally, the buzz around his work ethic, professionalism, and ability to perform under pressure adds fuel to the speculation that Hill could be a perfect fit in the Raiders' locker room culture. The financial implications and contract specifics remain a subject of intense analysis, but the excitement generated by this potential signing is undeniable, with many viewing it as a bold statement of intent from the Raiders' front office. Taken together, the rumors of JALEN RAMSEY, Von Miller, and TYREEK Hill joining the Las Vegas Raiders create an electrifying narrative that has fans and pundits speculating about the team's future dominance. The convergence of defensive stalwarts and an offensive speedster could signal a strategic recalibration designed to push the Raiders back into championship contention. The sheer scale of these possible acquisitions has sparked discussions about how the Raiders' coaching staff will integrate such high-profile players into the existing system, balancing egos, roles, and expectations. Speculators are also weighing the implications for the team's salary cap, future draft strategies, and how the roster might further evolve to support this star-studded core. While these reports have yet to be officially confirmed, the rumor alone has injected new energy and optimism into the Raiders fan base, who have long awaited a marquee moment signaling a serious championship push. Whether these whispers will materialize into reality remains to be seen, but the possibility of such a meta trio reshaping the Raiders' identity has captured the imagination of the football world, promising an offseason filled with intrigue, anticipation, and perhaps a glimpse of a new era in Las Vegas. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next